Hey, good evening, everybody. It's 5 p.m. and it's Monday, and it's time for Dave's Live at 5. So today we're going to talk about a targeted structure. So I want to go through a couple of things that have a lot to do with what we're talking about. So I wanted to go into some different things and get started. So we're just going to go right to the presentation and go from there. Okay, so just give me a second. And here we are. Okay, so we're all talking about a targeted structure, right? So what does that mean? When we're talking about organization, we're talking about schedule, we're talking about time set. What is time set? We're going to get into that. So I want to go through something really quickly and explain the whole point of this presentation. So here we're starting something new now. It can be the beginning of a year. It can be the beginning of a month. Whatever, it's the beginning. It comes down to how deep down you actually want to figure what you're actually going to set as a goal and as a commitment. You know, I'm very lucky to have been coached by a great guy by the name of John Cheplack for close to 10 years. I learned a lot. And what I learned has become part of the core of how and what I do when I'm helping agents, right? From actual real estate income producing activities and the art of differentiation to the mindset all involved in everything we do. So what I'm about to say is from my longtime friend and coach, John Cheplack. It's how we work together and what we all believe in. So it comes down to your choices and actions, right? So it's your turn now. It's been a long time, and it hasn't been that long, but you have made or devised a plan, or just maybe you put some ideas together, right? If you haven't written them down, you must. If you're going to have a plan, it's got to be written. If you haven't shared them with the universe, you've got to. You got to share everything you're doing with the universe, because it will come about better. And not only it will put you to a point of where you have to actually produce, but it's also going to give you added steam, right? So it's your turn. It's now to do it, right? For you to be able to have a true impact on your life, you need to take massive action, immediate action on a daily basis. While the word immediate in that sentence has to do with non-negotiable time and blocks, you must understand and have in place non-negotiable principles and standards. You might have to develop some new skills, change what you do, how you do it. You might have to give up the need to be right. What's happened before or what others have done has absolutely no correlation to you and today. I'm talking about your past. It means nothing, right? In order for you to move forward with yourself for new ideas and new ideals, you've got to say the past is the past. There's nothing you can do about it. You want to create a better thing as you move forward. Another thing I want to ask you is, are you surrounded by the right people? You know, it's a very important question. The people that can and will support you and elevate you to get you where you want to go. Are you surrounded by them? Are they your crew? Are they the people you hang out with? You know, as they say, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. I want you to look closely at these people you're hanging out with, and are they equal or above to you, with you, for you? That would matter in a collaborative effort. And you need to be obsessed with your life. You need to be obsessed with your business. You need to be obsessed with you on a daily basis. Doing the work in organization is where the action's going to take you. Knowing what makes you happy, truly knowing what you want by digging deep into your mind, into the journey you're about to take or have started taking. It's going to allow you to grow and build by helping others. Look, massive action, non-negotiable times and strategies, understanding limits, of you and others to understand what you want sometimes is to go very, very deep in your own head. It's not an easy thing to do most times, but it's required to get where you really want to go. The non-negotiable times and strategies are nothing without performance, which means action. Without action, everything you've written down and everything you set up, it might be targeted action, but basically it's just, a plan like that without action is word salad. Let's show you some of the stepping stones to this growth right now, right? So when we talk about structure, we can talk about a house as well, right? So you see, everybody talks about having a foundation to build your business on. Well, the foundation is really simple. Your foundation are the walls that hold up the rest of the structure. But what does the foundation sit on? The foundation sits on what's called a footing. A footing, for this purpose, are underneath your legs. Your legs are the foundation. When you hear, let's use sports as the analogy, right? The footwork, right? When a second baseman takes a throw from their shortstop for a double play, it's footwork. When an offensive lineman or defensive lineman are trying to get by each other, one to protect the quarterback, the other get by to tackle the quarterback, it's footwork. Fencing, if you've ever seen fencing, one of the most important parts of that sport is footwork. If you don't know the footwork, if you cannot be agile on your feet, you don't stand a chance of having any kind of career or positivity or quality of a career in that sport. So here we're talking about the footing of a building, which has to be on solid ground. In the Northeast, in where I am, you have to go down below the frost level to put that footing in, to install that footing, and the foundation gets built on top of that. You go below the frost level, so when it gets cold, the footing doesn't heave and move with the frozen ground, because frozen ground expands. So you don't want that to happen. So you need to have solid footing, right? If you don't have a solid footing and your feet are above the frost level, your feet are going to expand and you're not going to be able to walk too much. I keep going on with this analogy because I really like it. Anyway, so when you build the footing, you build the foundation, you've got bearing walls, ceilings, all these pieces put the house together, right? Organization, it's what you want. There's such a thing I call the global list. It's really simple, right? The global list is everything that you've ever wanted to do. Everything. I mean, it could be from waking up while after sleeping on a beach. It could be walking on a beach at sunrise. It could be walking on a beach at sunset. It could be sleeping on a boat. It could be all these water examples. Anyway, it could be going to a World Series baseball game, right? It could be just maybe having a new car. It could be having a new car every year. There's a lot of different things you want to do. Maybe you want to skydive. This is not a bucket list. This is a global list of everything you can think of, and it gets added to on a regular basis. When you think of something, there's things I want to do. For example, I want to ski again in Colorado. I want to ski in Montana. I want to ski in Wyoming. Will I ever do it? I don't know, but it's some things I want to do. I want to wake up in a hotel on a beach, right? I've done it, but I want to do it again. These are things I love to do, right? These are your goals, and they're short-term and they're long-term. They're goals in your mind. They're goals that you think about when you start building toward the wealth you want to get to. These are lifestyle goals. What's got to get done in a short term to reach that longer term goal, you've got to think about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to reverse engineer. Let's say you want to do 25 transactions, or you want to make 100,000 more. Okay, you want to make $250,000. Maybe it's 50 transactions. Whatever those numbers are, we need to reverse engineer that. If you're going to set up a goal to go on this great vacation where you're on a beach and you're waited on, you've got your own little pool at the hotel, and you just walk 5 feet and you're on the beach, and another 100 feet you're in the water. That's a thing to look at. That's a goal. In order to get there, okay, you're going to say, this is going to cost me X amount of dollars. How much more do I have to make to get to that X amount of dollars after paying my expenses? That's part of how you would set that up. So it's a reverse engineering. It's all relative. And once everything's broken down into smaller pieces, manageability occurs. There's an old expression, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time, of course. There's organization to where you want to get. You need to wake up every day with desire and discipline. The desire is going to make you stay disciplined to what you want to do. Let's face it, with lack of discipline to get things done, you're not going to reach the goals. Your discipline is basically, another way to look at it is baby focus, laser focused. When I talk about baby focus, what I mean is really simple, right? The baby focus is, if you've ever seen a baby or a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old get fixated on something. Maybe they're looking at something on the TV. Maybe they're looking at your phone. Maybe they're fixated on your watch. Maybe they're fixated on something like a button, but they're fixated on it and they're stuck on it and they do not come off of it until they get what they want. Maybe they're trying to reach something. You can call them all the time. They know their name by this point. You can keep calling them, but they're not gonna listen to you because they're focused. They're baby focused on what they're looking to do. This is what you need to do. And one of the disciplines that you need to have is choice management and not necessarily time management. You see, we can set up a time schedule all we want, but if we don't make the choice to achieve it and to do it, it's your job. It's 9 to 5. What else would you do? It's what you have to do. If it's 9 to 5, those 8 hours are going to be scheduled. If it's 6 to 10, 6 in the morning, 10 at night, those hours, right, are going to be scheduled. Those 14 hours, those 16 hours are going to be scheduled. My math was off there for a minute. Your daily organization, what is it? What does it look like? This is your structure. This is the target you want to reach. If you can't do it now, if you're not doing it now, this is a goal. This sheet in and of itself is a goal. No question. Your morning ritual and workout. Your daily list is different than to-dos. It's to get done. So after your ritual, after your workout, what does your list look like? Well, your day has to include income-producing activities, which is what prospecting is all for. The day. It's the difference of one day to the next. But there's always going to be income-producing activities on a regular basis. One of the things you want to do after each day is you want to look back on that day and you want to say, how did I do? Did I achieve the commitment I had for that day? If I didn't achieve that commitment, what got in my way? For all intents and purposes, could I have achieved that commitment that I made for that day? And what am I going to do tomorrow that will allow me to achieve my commitment? What am I going to do differently? You see, you're going to grade yourself on a daily basis and on a weekly basis, and you need to be honest. So here's how to be honest with it, just a little trick. And I do this every day. You look back at your day and say, what grade did I give it? Or you might want to do it at the end of the day and give yourself a grade. And then in the morning, you'll have a little bit different perspective on that day. And what it's going to say to you is, did I really achieve that grade? Like, say you gave yourself a B. You might have had a good day. You might have achieved good stuff. But did you achieve what you wanted to achieve? If you didn't, okay, well, it's never going to be an A if you didn't. Might not even be a B. So, it's all relative to what you want to achieve, which is going to be your grade. If you're not getting A's consistently, you need to rethink your discipline and your dedication and your commitment. Because let's understand something. What is a commitment? A commitment, and how is it measured? Well, it's measured by your results. And you're going to see how strong your commitment really was. Let me give you an example. If you were going to make 100 calls today and you only made 50 and commitment was 100, 50 was your commitment. In the last 12 months, if your goal was for that ended 12 months to make 100,000 and you only made 50, Your commitment was 50,000. That's it. Your commitment is what you actually achieve. So what are you going to commit to now? What kind of grades do you want to give yourself? What's your schedule like? We went through that briefly. Morning ritual, prospect, follow-up, setup. Well, we said follow-up. What does that mean? So your prospecting is income producing. After that, you're going to follow up on previous day's leads, other leads, people you're working with. You're going to set up. You're going to set up for the next day for your prospecting. Maybe that means research. You're going to set up appointments, right? You're going to set up showings and appointments. You're going to do showings and appointments, right? We'll get back to the flex block in a second. You're going to figure out about knowing the market. What does that mean? Well, you're going to go out and look at homes that you haven't seen. And if it's going to be virtual, you're going to make sure that you do the best job you can to research what that home looks like. You're not only going to research it, you're not only going to look at the photos and the videos, you're also going to look at how the market is reacting to it so far and what the market says about the price compared to what it has, right? You're going to look at that. You're going to go out in person, if you're allowed, if you can, go out in person to look at this house. Because when it sells, even if you don't sell it, you're going to remember it. You have to know the market. And that should be, if you're a new agent or a part-time agent, you need to spend a lot of time knowing the market, because that's where you're going to win over others. Because I'm going to tell you that a lot of agents will get lazy and not know the market. They'll fake it, and you don't want to fake it. The income producing activities can happen at any time. That's prospecting, definitely prospecting. And I put this here for a reason, and we'll get back to that again, just like when we get back to the flex block. Maintenance, paperwork. You've got paperwork to do. Set a schedule for it on a daily basis. And if you don't have to do it, it's now termed a flex block. What's a flex block? You should have blocks in your day, every day, where you can make up time you lost. Say you did the unheard of thing and took a phone call during your prospecting. Well, you just lost time in your prospecting. That 3 hours or that 2.5 hours or that 4 hours that you're going to be on the phones prospecting, you just lost some of that time. You cannot afford to give up that time. You need to have a long-term plan which allows you so much time to get to a certain goal. Look, here's the thing. As a new agent, you're going to do this. You're going to do this schedule. You're going to do it hard. You're going to be dedicated. You're going to be disciplined to get it done. Because if you do this really hard for 3 to 5 years, you're not going to have to really do all the intricate things, and it may come easier for you. And you'll also be able to hire someone to help you with the monotony and the monotonous work that you don't like to do. That's for another training. But you're going to use a flex block. You're going to put 30 minutes every day at the end of the day to make up things you did not get to. And if you don't need the flex block, guess what? You're going to go back to income producing activities. Here's the thing. If you set yourself up to work from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then if you have showings after that, fine, and you're done at 3, you're not done. You just go back and start doing some other things for the next day, and you go back and do more prospecting. That's what you do. You do not quit for the day. You keep going. We talked about time blocking briefly. We talked about time management. Time blocking is simple. It's blocking times out. We talked about the morning ritual. The prospecting could be 8 to 11. The follow-up could be 11 to 12. The setup could be 12 to 12:30. The appointment setting, 12:30 to 1. Maybe take a break. And your showings and all the other work of knowing the market and maintenance can be 1 to 6. And maybe some showings later. But this is kind of what your schedule is going to be. But since you're dedicated and disciplined to doing all this work, it's going to create a mindset that is not going to allow you to fail. If you are disciplined, it's not going to allow you to fail. With a disciplined time block system, a disciplined time block mindset, you're going to have something that I call time set. It's going to allow you to use your time wisely and to use your time profitably. That is so very important. Look, I'm the king of wasting time. I know how to do it really, really well. To prevent myself from wasting time, I have whiteboards all over the place telling me what I need to do for that day and what goals I need to achieve for the week. It helps me. It's just a visual aid for me. You might have to do the same thing. Time set is completely determined by putting first things first and what you can get on the fly. What I mean by that is your prospecting, your income producing activities are first. Say if you're a new agent and your goal is to get business. I know you need to learn how to do the forms, but honestly, if I teach you how to do the forms the first day you come in, you're not going to remember them when you need to do a buyer contract, when you need to do a listing form, a listing contract. You're not going to remember. So that's where, as a mentor, me as a certified mentor and a coach, I will help you with those forms when you need them. And I will give you the proper guidance and give you never-ending guidance, because I'm going to give you videos on how to do them for your area, for your market, right? And if I'm not there, someone else is going to help you. If you're not, working with me, you'll work with somebody else. You need to do the work to get the business as per your coach, mentor, or broker, or all of them have helped you do. Hopefully, depending on your company, depending on your office, depending on your culture, that will be there to help you. You'll have a broker to help you. If you don't, maybe a mentor. If not, you need to hire a coach. And don't worry about that. That's something that everybody needs to do. And everybody that's a professional has a coach. There are basketball players that have their own coach, baseball players that have their own coach. I'm not talking about the manager of the team, the head coach. They have other coaches that help them. That doesn't mean you can't either. Your expectations for these people helping you, like your coach, like a mentor, like your broker, they should be high and they should deliver high. Remember, time blocking plus mindset equals time set. And if they're not giving you what you need to find it somewhere else. But if they're giving you what you need, follow what they tell you. Go and do the income producing activities. The thought's simple. Within yourself is the power to achieve and the discipline to do it. You need to set yourself up for success, to achieve, to accomplish. It's where the whole idea of time set comes from and where it's going to get you. It's going to take your mindset and the time that you choose to use. Remember, I said it was choice management in the beginning to get you to where you want to go. Your structure also has follow-up systems, processes for sales, buyers, and sellers. These are your methods to conversion, and from aware to connect to contact to appointment to contract to income. That is a simple road, a simple map to get to making money. Your customer becomes aware of you one way or the other. You connect with them. You contact them. You set up a time to meet with them. You go and do the showings or whatever you need to do. Set up the listing. You get a contract. And then you get to the income stage at the end. And then your awareness will never end. You need them aware of you consistently and continuously, even after the closing is done, even after they've moved into their house, even after they moved out of their house. You need to stay in touch with them. They need to be aware of you more so now than ever. Why? Because then they will help you and give you people that also can use the help that you gave them. Look, your time is non-negotiable. Sorry about the misspelling. This has to be non-negotiable. See, understand that with a deep dive into yourself and what you really and truly want, as I started in the beginning of this session, is so very important. You need to take a deep dive. And here's how you get started. What do you want? Why do you want it? Why is that? Keep going. Go as many levels as you have to keep asking you those questions, right? Here's a drill you can do to make sure that you're not wasting any time during the week. I call it the 168 drill. So I want you to take a piece of paper, right? See, this is for those that tell me that I'm crazy, that you don't waste time, that you get a lot done, right? So I'm going to make you aware of the time you're losing. Go to the 168 drill. Take a piece of paper, write 168 at the top. Okay? I want you to write down everything you do every day. And then I want you to multiply it all times 7. How many hours you sleep? How many hours you eat? How many hours you work? How many hours you drive? How many hours you watch TV, how many hours you hang with your kids, how many times you have, how many hours do you have fun? This is all on a weekly basis. I'm going to tell you that you're probably going to have some time left, probably 10 hours. And you're going to say, where did that time go? It works. It will help you. Time blocking is a process. And this is just something that needs to be set up, and you need to start using it slowly but surely. It's a lot of people most people cannot jump right into this. You need to set it up as a process a little bit at a time. It's prospecting, it's research, it's education, it's content creation, content calendar, your content execution, email, social, follow-up, flex, as we said, and knowing the market. How? What does it look like? This is what it looks like. This is a very, very simple example of a morning schedule. Plain and simple. You wake up, you work on your mind and body first when you have some real good quiet time. It's probably the only time of day you're going to get quiet time. You're going to get time to yourself. And it's extremely important to get time to yourself. And if you don't think it is, if you've been in this business, or if you've got children and you're married, or you're not married, or you have a partner, or whatever it is, there's probably one time, someday, some way, a while ago, where you said to yourself, if I could only have 5 minutes to myself. You said that or heard someone say that. This is what we're talking about. This morning, speak the good, talk about yourself, affirmations, right? What are you grateful for? These are the things you're going to write down. Remember, write them down. Write your goals and affirmations every day. Write what you're grateful for every day. Download the crap out of your head. Writing. Writing is the doing part of thinking, and it's going to help you build and get excited for the rest of the day. The exercise, I can come before it or come after it. That's all up to you and how you want to do it. You finish all that up, you get a little me time, you sit quietly for a couple of minutes, and you're ready to attack the day. This is your time block. This is what your schedule and everything is about. Every day has something for you. Every day gives you the opportunity to achieve. Every day gives you the opportunity for success. Remember, massive action, non-negotiable times and strategies. Understanding the limits of yourself and of others is going to help you set this blocking system up. To understand what you want is to go deep, very deep into your own head. And it's going to help you follow this time block system. These are non-negotiable times. This is a strategy. This is a non-negotiable strategy. And it allows you to do the work. Otherwise, perform. So that is our presentation for today, all about a targeted structure. I hope you got some value out of this. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at davefinale.com, or you can go to talktodave.work to set up a time to have a conversation with me. I look forward to giving you more. We'll see you next Monday on the same live at 5. If you're in my groups, I'll see you Thursday at 5. Thanks so much. Happy Monday.